Well, other than showing up for felony records requests, how's your day been treating you?
Oh, not too bad.
I'm here making a public records request, and you let that maniac down there call people with guns because I'm doing something that's founded in statute? Look, you're getting way beyond your pay grade here.
Excuse me?
You need to just
Sir,
leave me alone.
I am here to help you.
And I don't consent to being recorded, so can you please stop?
No. No? You just walk up to everyone and ask them if they
Well,
need
you're
help?
running around with a GoPro and you're recording, it looks like.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Have a good day, sir.
Outrageous. Call people with guns. Whoa, hey, stop yelling. You guys have made a grave error. You've made a grave error.
Grave errors.
Let you do that. You can't film in here. You can't do this. This is private property.
First of all, it's not private property.
Don't, man.
Hey everyone, I am free. It is January 23rd, 2025. I am in the city of Puyallup here at Pierce College. You see the different buildings here? College Center, that's their library, that's their Johnson Science Building. My first time here, actually. So I'm here because I heard from sources that students attempted to come in to inspect the records index after not being able to get access to records that they were told they could get. So I thought I'd come in and inspect that. Sure enough, before I got down here, as I always do, I looked into the administrative codes, and Washington State Administrative Code Title 132K, Chapter 276, Section 130, Subsection 1, does in fact state that they will have all of the elements of the records index per RCW 425670 subsections 3A through F. So we're going to go in there and check into that, see if that is available for inspection per section 80. Excuse me. Hello, do you know where I can find the public records officer at?
Public record officer.
Yeah.
Did you try enrollment services?
No. I saw student services and I'm like, well, I'm not a student, so.
You can try going down this main hallway right here in the middle, and where it says admissions to the right in that office.
Perfect. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hello. I was sitting over here by the cashier. I'm looking for the public records officer. Do you know if that person's in here or?
I don't know.
Okay.
What are you trying to like request that or?
I am looking to request records possibly, but first I need to inspect the records index before I do that.
Okay, the VP's available, so she's just gonna have him come over here. Okay?
Awesome. No, that's great. Thank you. Appreciate the help.
Hello.
Hey. I'm here to inspect the records index.
Okay, so we've got a process for that, absolutely. But we're gonna need you to do it in writing so we know what specifically that you're requesting so we can get it for you. We have 5 days to respond to that. And in that response, we maybe say, trying to get some clarifications for what you're specifically looking for. And then we will process those records and ask if you want to come in to see them or if you want to, if you would like us to get them over to you via the mail.
What's making you think the records index is something to be requested?
It's a public record. You're essentially, if you're looking or if you're asking to review records, that's a public records request.
Gotcha. So then why does the statute say differently for the index?
What part of the statute says differently than that being a public records?
It doesn't say it's different than a public record. It says it's inspectable right on the spot. It's created and maintained. And RCW 425670 is creating and maintaining a public records index.
Okay.
So that's not something you inspect, you just view it. Now I know this for a fact because I've gone to Healthcare Authority, for example, and inspected it. It's just in a big binder. They pull it out from under the desk, you inspect it. inspect the public records index.
Oh, okay, perfect.
And I was wondering if I could speak to the pro. You're done. The index isn't a record to get, it's a tool meant to aid you in making your records request. So for example, hypothetically,
Sure.
you may have an administrative manual called Human Resources, Hours of Operations, and Great Fun Times at Work. I don't know that's what it's called.
Sure.
I just may think of a human resource manual as human resources manual. You guys could have 15 different kinds.
Sure.
I don't know what that is. So the index is just literally an index, like it would be in a book, that says, here's what we've got. And I go, oh, so Pierce Colliege calls this X.
Sure.
I would have called it Y, but now I know they call it X, so I will request that. Then the records request happens. So
Okay.
if you look at subsection 3A through F of section 70 of the Records Act, chapter 56, you'll see that that's what it is.
Okay.
So.
So let me go verify, and I'll get back to you, okay?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
What's going on?
What's up?
How you doing?
Good.
Can I help you? No?
No, you just walk up to everyone and ask them if they
Well,
need
you're
help.
running around with a GoPro and you're recording, it looks like, and you got a mask on. So I work for the
Indeed.
school. I was just curious.
Oh, yep. No, I'm good to go unless you got like a energy drink or maybe a cheeseburger. Kind of hungry and thirsty.
Well, there's vending machines, so there's cafeteria.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I'm good to go otherwise.
You always get DoorDash, too.
Fair enough. You could get DoorDash.
Okay, well, I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too, man. Take care.
Hey, can I help you?
No.
You can't film in this building
What would make you say that?
because this is private property,
It's private
and you
property.
have to go through certain people in order to do that. Excuse me a moment.
Sure.
Hey, Jody. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I got you. Is there anything I can help you with?
I don't need any help. What would make you think this is private property?
I mean, come on. You're walking around filming. You haven't talked to any individual. You haven't talked to the dean or the person that's in charge of letting this happen.
How do you know that?
Did you?
No, you made a statement. Did I talk to somebody or not?
Have you?
You made a declaration that I did. Look, you're getting way beyond your pay grade here.
Excuse me?
You need to just
Sir,
leave me alone.
I am here to help you
You're not
to
here
try
to
to
help
figure
me.
it out.
No.
The next thing that I have to do in my power is I have to call the police. I don't want to do that.
Just do it then.
Bet.
Jeez, man. Come on, calm down. That's rude.
It's not calming down. Don't call me rude. I came here to help
You
you
are
figure out
rude.
what's going on.
You're calling
You're
people-
filming people.
You're calling
and I'm
people
trying to
with-
figure out why you are so I can help you.
You're going to call people with guns and weapons. Come on. You need to stop. You need to stop.
Have a good day, sir. Have a good day.
Wow.
Have a good day. I'm not trying to hear this whole, I'm just the person that's trying to help you out. This is the thing.
Unbelievable.
You're illegally filming people without asking the
Sir.
right corrected people.
Sir,
Hello, 911.
lower your voice. You're being disorderly, sir. Stop it. Jeez. Wow.
About 6'1", 6'2".
Got the height right.
Medium. Grayish black. Not that I know he wearing a mask. So. Just a black balaclava, half mask. Yes, ma'am. It's a military green jacket, blue pants, black shoes. Not really, no, not camo, just military green. Yeah,
He thinks my fishing vest is military grade.
appreciate it. Anderson, I'll grab it. Are you sitting there? Sir, I can't let you go in there. Excuse me. Ma'am. Excuse me, sir. I can't let you do that. You can't film in here. You can't do this. This is private property.
First of all, it's not private property.
Don't, man, I'm trying to tell you, sir,
I
you
was
can't film.
already-
I don't care. I saw you in the quad already and I gave you a pass. And I'm thinking because that outside, that's perfectly fine. In here, what's the point of all this?
If
Are you filming a documentary? Have you talked to anybody that said it's okay to do this? No. So what you're doing is technically illegal on this property, private property.
You pretty confident of that? All right.
Go ahead, man. You go ahead and be a hero, right? For the little people, right?
Wow.
What you need to talk to someone about?
I was already working on my business.
What business is that?
I'm not going to explain it to 12 people, man.
Say again?
I'm not going to explain it to 12 people.
What is it that you're here about?
Records.
What records?
Records that I need to get.
Are you a student here? Are you here for your record?
Don't answer those questions. You guys have made a grave error. You've made a grave error.
Grave error.
Yeah, calling the police. Not good.
You're not here for student business. There's no
I'm here for public business, and this is a public location. It's a public college.
You're here to be a disturbance.
I'm not
You're not
going
going
to
to disturb
disturb.
our people.
Requesting records, you're trying to say, I just want to make sure, who are you first
There's
of all?
I'm the dean of students here.
So, Dean, I just want to make sure I understand this. Dean Lett, are you telling me that coming into a public college to request public records is a disturbance?
That would be through our official channels. It wouldn't be in this office.
So, first of all, the cashier sent me over here to deal with what I needed to do. Now, it sounds like
If you're
you're,
a student, yes.
sir, I'd like to finish what
You're
I'm
a
saying.
student.
Okay. Are you saying I cannot?
I'm just here to let you know that the police are coming, so you can better kind of just break it down to them on why you want to do what you want to do.
Sure. Hey, you didn't have to escalate this the way you did, okay? It's really rude. So, Dean Lett, I just want to make sure I understand. Since you are Dean, I'm assuming you got, a pretty reasonable degree of knowledge about this stuff. Are you saying it is unlawful for me to make a records request in person, verbally?
It is not this is not the place to do it.
So I can't do it here, is what you're saying.
There's official channels to go through for that.
Are you saying
Make
that
a
this is
call.
not a lawful option for me to make a records
Not
request?
for you to come in here and disturb people in this way.
How am I disturbing someone making a records request?
You come in here with, is that not a camera?
It
that
is.
Is that not a microphone?
It is.
Why are you here doing that to our employees? That is not the way you request records.
You can document your records request. Absolutely.
Okay.
RCW 97330, the Privacy Act, I'm assuming you already know that one,
Sure.
allows for people to record in public. This is public. It's a public college. If you look at Washington Administrative Code Title 132K, which is specifically titled Pierce College, I'm assuming you know that as a dean,
Sure.
you would know that this is a public college. If it's a public college, and if you look at 132K 276 130, it's called the Public Records Index. How do you request public records at a private location? Puzzle me that, Dean. Yeah, it's a little awkward, ain't it? You don't. You request public records at a public entity. You want to stew on that for a moment, feel free, but the fact that you guys just called people with weapons because I'm making a civil request for public records, wow. Possibly getting into the false reporting zone right there, which in Washington State is a crime. I've done nothing to be disorderly. I haven't even said anything rude to anyone. I haven't raised my voice. I've literally done nothing but be kind and professional. In fact, your vice president was over here helping me. And he's supposed to be coming back any minute to provide further aid. Vice President Andrew.
Yes.
Okay, so what's the problem here, Dean Lett? He literally just came over to me here in this office and was assisting me. So what's the issue? How is it then when I'm working with one of your vice presidents, now all of a sudden it's disrupting? He's literally helping me and told me to wait here. Anything? Nothing? Okay. You guys just need to relax. It's just a public records request, Dean Lett. It's pretty straightforward. People do it all the time at public institutions.
Yeah, I talk to my boss and stuff like that. You're free to do whatever you want. You good. You good.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Have a good day, sir.
Outrageous. Call people with guns.
Hey, sir.
Whoa, hey, stop yelling. Stop yelling. Hey, Dean.
Hey, sir.
Dean Lett. I need to make a complaint on that security officer. You guys called people with weapons to try to escalate this to a violent encounter. How dare you? That's shameful. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm here making a public records request, and you let that maniac down there call people with guns because I'm doing something that's founded in statute? What is wrong with you?
First of all, he's not a maniac, and he's doing his job.
When someone comes in to do a public records request, and what did he just say? First of all, the police ain't showing up. Everyone knows this, Dean Lett.
Sure.
This isn't the flamethrower guided missile strike GoPro. It's a camera with an audio boom. So that is maniacal behavior. Calling people with weapons, a belt full of weapons, to deal with a journalist coming to do a public records request. You know what I'm here to do? Is to inspect the public records index. If you knew your job, acting like you are right now, you'd know that's something you need to maintain, which guess what, Dean? You don't have it. So first of all, you're out of compliance with Washington State statute in Section 70 of the Public Records Act. And guess what? Your own administrative code, 132K276-130, says it's available for inspection here. Yet you don't have it, Dean. Can you puzzle me why you don't have that? So before you start calling people with guns and other weapons to deal with a journalist that's reporting on something that your students reached out to me about as sources, saying they went to go get records here and they had troubles, well, yeah, I'd say they probably did have troubles. The go-to of your security, and anytime someone requests records, is to call people with weapons. How's that for transparency, Dean Lett? Is this what you do to all your students? Because this is exactly what I was told was going to happen. And boy, did it turn out correct. This is exactly why we have a First Amendment to press, so we can come report on abusive tyrants like yourself and the administration of this place. I can't believe you were trying to escalate this to violence. Who's your boss? Who's your supervisor? Is that the vice president? You can stare me down all you want, Dean Lett. It ain't going to change anything. You did wrong today. You know you did wrong. You should be ashamed of yourself. That security guard should be ashamed of himself. How dare you guys call people with weapons to deal with a member of the press? So you going to tell me who your boss is or not? All right. I'll head on over to the president's office then. Hello.
Hello.
I don't know who I should talk to about this, so if you could maybe help me with this a little bit. I was just speaking with Dean Lett, and I'm trying to figure out who his supervisor. I would guess the president of the campus, or
James Lett.
Lett?
Oh, Dean James. He's a dean.
Oh yeah, Dean Lett. He was just out there. Who is his boss?
I want to say that it's. Let me just double check. I would say it was this vice president, but I want to be sure before I say that.
I just had a
Not good interaction. Or
yeah, I was threatened with police because I was here doing a public records request. Yeah, that I literally can't believe it. And now Dean Lett is refusing to tell me who his supervisor is.
oh really?
Yeah, this is not good. I need to make a complaint about this and see what can be done to resolve this. That's just, it's frankly outrageous.
Here comes your Ritzy. She's our vice president for learning and student success.
Okay.
Ritzy, can I ask you a question?
Oh, she's the vice president.
Of learning and student
Oh.
success.
That'll work just fine.
He's here to make a public records request.
We have a formal process through the state in which you submit a formal public record request. You can't just show up on campus and request those documents in person.
Really? Well, since Vice President Lozano wants to be so officious, how about we all play a game called Let's Educate the Educators? As found in the Washington State Revised Codes in RCW 42.56.080, you can go to any agency, as defined in RCW 42.56.010 titled Definitions, which includes any office, department, bureau, commission, etc., and make a public records request. And there is no official format for that request. Additionally, as found in Washington State Administrative Code Title 44, Chapter 14, Section 03006, a person can submit said public records request in person and orally, as I did that day. So, as a word of caution to the Pierce College, next time your educators attempt to emphatically decree something, learn what it is that you're talking about first.
So you have to go through the state. The state notifies the institution. The institution then will work to provide those records.
Before I address that, and I appreciate your input there, I had a...
And I don't consent to being recorded, so can you please stop?
No.
Then I can't answer any other questions. I don't consent to being recorded.
So this is a problem from leadership down. That's why what just happened with Dean Lett and the security officer happened. That's completely unlawful. First of all, you'd be abridging my speech as well as my right to press. I'm a journalist. I don't have to disclose it. You're a government employee. I have a Fourth Amendment. Don't have to disclose my name, my identification, or anything about me. So why don't we just take an opportunity to restart this fresh? It's completely lawful. Your security officer called the police. The police refused to show up because it is lawful for me to be here recording. RCW 97330, which is the Privacy Act for Washington State, says there's only two-party consent if there's an expectation of privacy. This is a public college. How do we know that? We look in Title 136K of the Washington Administrative Codes, where you can get public records. It's a public institution, therefore there's no expectation of privacy, therefore I can record in public. I can record public servants in the course of their duty. Okay, Fordyce versus the City of Seattle, among many other cases, have ruled on this. I'm trying to submit a complaint to you, Vice President. Are you going to take it?
If you would like to schedule an appointment where we could do that, I have other meetings that I have to attend to currently through my work.
Your dean and your security tried to escalate things to violence by calling people with weapons to come deal with me. Why is that?
Perhaps other individuals felt that you were a threat, maybe because you didn't disclose what your business was. And there is a process for public record requests, as I previously stated.
You're right. WAC 4414-03006 says you can make a request in person and orally. So I'm submitting a public records.
We have a state process through the Washington State Board of Community and Technical Colleges of how those are processed.
The Attorney General has already given this college specifically given this college advice, legal advice from Bob Ferguson to this college. If you look in WAC 4414-03006, that is his advice to this college. I can submit it orally and in person. I'm submitting a public records request to you right now. You can take it or not. If you don't take it, you're in violation of the Public Records Act after 5 days.
All public records requests go through our Human Resources Department.
That's not how it works. Section 80 of the Public Records Act states there is no specific format for a request, and that's why WAC 4414-03006 says what it does. Okay? And also, as to the identification, subsection 2 of Section 80 says you may not distinguish between people, aka you may not identify people when they make a request. So I'm going to give you an option politely. You can take the records request now. I'm going to state to you what it is. If you deny it, that's fine. That's your choice.
I would prefer that the record request be made in email.
Yeah, you'd prefer it, but I'm not going to do it that way. Okay. So I'm going to submit all emails
to my office because
regarding Dean Lett's work today. And I would like that submitted to anonymouscitizenwa@protonmail.com. Okay?
To what? I'm sorry.
anonymouscitizenwa@protonmail.com. Okay? You got 5 days to respond.
Oh! Brutal, savage, wrecked.
So in that area, no. first I was going to come in here, I thought I was going to trespass him. I would talk to the right people. He's good to go. As long as they say, as long as he keeps the hallways. Let you do that. You can't film in here. You can't do this. This is private property. The lobby area is on the other side of the counters. He's pretty much good. Have you talked to anybody that said it's okay to do this? No. So what you're doing is technically illegal on this property. So
yeah, because the whole state governed building
that part
applies to
that part. Yeah.
Oh! Brutal, savage, wrecked.
And I'm sorry that you're humiliated.
You know, sir, instead of calling people with weapons, you could have been professional and not done it, okay?
Good one. Yeah, have a good day, sir.
Can I get your business card?
Yes, sir.
Thanks. And do you have a CAD number I could get for this?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
And just to let you know, we're being audio visual.
Absolutely. Very thankful that you guys have those.
Yep. Puyallup, can I get the CAD number?
One of these days,
Well, other than showing up for felony records requests, how's your day been treating you?
Oh, not too bad. Sorry, can I get the last one again?
I will admit to you right now, officer of the law, I am that felon records requester, always seeking to get those public records.
Hey, someone's got to do it.
Thanks, man.
All right.
You have a good day.
All right, no questions or nothing?
Baba?
Yeah, let me write it.
Oh, okay. It's just kind of faded a little bit there.
Yeah, I requested a new one.
Is it Kolababa?
Yeah, Kulibaba.
Kulibaba.
Yeah.
Okay. I try not to butcher people. I make the effort.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Take care, officer.
Well, I'm gonna head in. But I will. If you need anything, let me know.
Sure. Hey, Deanlet.
Yes.
Did you just see how that went down?
Sure.
So instead of, being married to the idea of being a citizen of North Korea, maybe you should go back as an educated dean and reread the United States Constitution and understand in the very First Amendment, the number one, even before the whole self-defense one or not having soldiers quartered in your home or any of that, we get the talkie option. That would be the thing where we can speak and press and assemble religion, the 5 main things, redress grievances. So instead of calling people with guns and having your maniac security officer losing his mind over this, yeah, you heard me. You heard me.
We're better than that, aren't we? Using words and calling people slurs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I called you a maniac security officer. Calling people with guns is a maniacal thing to do. So I know you're not going to do it, but I'd like this addressed. I've made a complaint to the vice president over there. I've also issued a public records request to her. You guys should do a lot better, okay? This is not okay how you're behaving. I expect the next time, if there is a next time that I come in here to do public lawful business, you guys behave like adults and not like children.
But it's still,
okay?
What this is.
Are we on the same page? Are we?
Okay, yeah, you got it.
The staring thing ain't gonna work. The laser beams thing is like from a movie. Doesn't actually happen in life. It's not a real thing. Okay? So next time, let's just try to rein this in and do better, okay? There's an opportunity. There's a tomorrow. Let's do better and not treat people so poorly, okay? You have a better day.
Oh! Brutal, savage, wrecked.
Hello, sorry, I am sorry that it took as long as it did. So here's what I've got for you.
You got the index?
I do. Well, awesome. I've got what I've got for you, but I wanted to make sure that I could answer everything that you needed as much as possible. So I have a link to our Pierce College policies. So this has all of our board policies and our college policies. So that's a link to there. I didn't print them all out. It's a ton. But if you need me to, I can do that. Or I can print you out any that, like if you wanted to go through that list and see if there was one in specific.
Oh, no, that's the retention schedule.
Yes, and then the retention schedule.
Yeah, give me a second if I could.
Sure.
And I appreciate you working to solve this problem. Then I need to address something with you. You're vice president, right?
Right.
Perfect.
So this is, and just so you've probably seen them, but so this is the state retention schedule, and then this is the one that specifically shows what other documents that community and technical colleges have.
Yeah. So. What the Records Act says, I just want to show you. 5670. Says each local agency, which obviously the college is, shall maintain and make available for public inspection these things. So final opinions, including concurring and dissenting opinions, as well as orders, all that. So all
Yeah,
this stuff,
absolutely. Yeah.
that isn't the retention schedule. So the retention schedule is a Title 40,
Sure.
Chapter 14 thing.
Okay.
This is Title 42, Chapter 56. So you don't have the index?
So this demonstrates what documents we would have as an index. So these are what we're required to retain and hold and provide on for a public records request.
But the retention schedule isn't an index. That's why there's two titles and chapters that discuss them separately. It would be like, well, saying the same thing is defined by two separate things. That doesn't happen.
Sure.
You know, I mean, when you've got something in Title 40, Chapter 16, or sorry, Chapter 14, and then you got something in Title 42, Chapter 56, they're just separate things.
Sure.
So that right there, you're saying has the names of all final opinions, orders, interpretive statements, all that, not the retention schedule, but the names of all of them.
It would guide you to saying, hey, these are the types of records that I'm looking for in a request, and then we could fulfill that request.
Yeah, but the index, I'm sure you can appreciate this, the difference with the index is that the index says, here, I'll scoot over here a little bit too. The index states, here's all the final orders, opinions, et cetera, that we have. So instead of saying categorically, these are the things we have, the things found in 3A through F are the categories. I completely agree that the retention schedule addresses those and says, hey, you know, we hold on to final opinions for 6 years or whatever, right?
Right, yeah.
But it doesn't help me make my records request by saying, hey, Vice President, I am looking for final opinion XYZ, because the index would tell me that there's a final opinion XYZ.
Okay.
That just tells me how long you hold on to final opinions.
Sure.
It's definitely a completely separate thing. So I just have to ask, do you have the index, not that?
At this time, this is what I have.
Okay, so you don't have an index. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so you're just out of compliance. Fair enough. I mean, it is what it is.
Sure.
I mean, just it is what it is. So I will deal with that with the state.
Okay.
On a completely separate issue. Unfortunately, while you were away trying to aid me in this issue, there was a horrible situation that just happened here.
Okay.
Your security officer there called police on me because I was here doing that.
Okay.
And then when I tried to address the issue with Dean Lett, because he confronted me, said I couldn't be here recording. The police showed up, said, you absolutely can. I'm a journalist.
Sure.
It's like literally my tool of my trade.
Yes, yes.
You know, why are they calling people with guns and other weapons, cops,
I see. Sorry.
to show up here to deal with me because I'm making a public records request? That security officer in Dean Lett stated on audio and video that this is the security officer said this is a private location.
Okay.
That's not public. Dean Lett said I cannot be here recording.
Okay.
Why did you guys call the police on me? I wasn't rude or anything.
So I did not call.
I
don't have the circumstances. Knowing that we are a public institution and certainly take the public and our students and our employees' safety, it may have been to deal with that.
Well, let me tell you what brought me here today. So
Sure.
the reason I'm in here is I got some sources that reached out to me about. Now I don't know if the sources, because first of all, I never divulge my sources, but I don't know if they are actually the students or they were reaching out to me on behalf of students.
Oh, okay.
But what I got tips and leads about is that some students were taking umbrage with some processes or whatnot, and they went to go get records.
Okay.
And when they went to go get records, they allege that they were getting some pretty obfuscating behavior around getting the records.
Okay.
So somebody in their mix of reaching out to me said, I know this journalist, he does open government transparency, specifically focuses on the Public Records Act. That is what I focus on as a journalist.
Gotcha.
And said, reach out to this guy, he knows everything about the Public Records Act. So those college students, hey, getting a good education here, said they saw my Public Records Index stories, which I've been working on for about a year now, and said, hey, I'm going to go look for the index and see if I can get the names of the things that I'm getting, because they're trying to hide the names of those things from me so I can request them, which is the point of the index.
I understand. Gotcha.
So then I come in here and what do I see? First of all, there's no index. It is what it is. But in the midst of attempting to make a public records request, your dean and your security officer called the police on a journalist. Why?
I don't
'Cause
have
like I said-
I don't have answers for that. I know an abundance of caution for the safety and security of everyone, on campus.
Was there anything I did that was rude? Or?
I don't have details on that, so I don't know.
I mean, with you, was I rude or
No,
unprofessional?
absolutely not.
I would like to file a complaint on Dean Lett.
Okay.
I think his response to me was rude. He was getting into a staring contest with me. I'm
Okay.
not one to get bullied
Okay.
or intimidated, so he needs to stop that.
Okay.
Security was getting loud and obnoxious, yelling at a point when he realized he was wrong, that the police weren't going to do anything about it.
Okay.
I then went in there, and Christine's awesome, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
I went in there, I was talking to her. A female, I think Hispanic associate vice president came in.
Okay.
What's her name? Dawn Reed?
It may have been an associate. It may have been our vice president of learning and student success.
That's who it was.
Okay.
What's her name?
Yuritsi.
Yuritsi, okay. So I was then talking to her, and then she said, hey, you don't have my permission to record me. You need to stop. That's not lawful. That's completely lawful in Washington State. Fordyce versus the City of Seattle, Ninth Circuit case ruling.
Sure. In
RC
public spaces,
Yeah.
that's nearing private space. So,
But it's still public.
right.
So, obviously if I went down the corridor, I went into office
Sure.
spaces. That's
Oh,
totally
I
different.
wasn't sure where you were.
No,
so,
I was
okay.
just in the lobby.
Oh, just in the. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, or the foyer. So when I went in there, everything was fine, and then she starts getting bossy about this stuff and saying she's not going to take my public records request.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, she's the vice president of learning, and she doesn't know how to handle a public records request from a journalist. And like I said, I've been polite, professional the entire time, but I get frustrated when people call people with guns to get a member of the press out of here. Because you know what this seems like? The sources that gave me tips and leads, they were saying they're having a difficult time. Now, I'm not saying to this degree, but I come in here to look into this story.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, a dean in security starts calling cops on me.
Sure.
Doesn't look good for the college when they're saying they're already having a tough time with records. So do you have any comment about that?
I don't have comments for that, no.
Okay.
But I will offer, if the students are really having a challenge, I would love to hear about it. I would also, it sounds like you may have contact with them. I'm happy to walk you through what our public records request process looks like.
Well,
I can get you a link to it because it's a quick email saying this is, a little bit of info about you, just so we can get back to you with those records.
Sure.
And then we've got 5 days to get any clarification and then start that process.
Yeah, it's from Section 520.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a page on our website. So if you go to our college website, go to About, and then there's a public records link right there.
Well, I want to indicate, and I'm not going to get overly specific because I don't know out of the body of students you have, if I get too specific, if it had nailed down who the person
Yeah,
is.
certainly we don't want to do
What I'll
that.
say
Yeah,
is,
absolutely.
There's a person who said they have difficulties with certain tech.
Okay.
So they wanted to come in to get assistance.
I see.
In person.
I see. Okay.
Which WAC 4414-03006 says you can make it in person and orally.
Yep.
And that's where a lot of this
the challenge
appears to have come from.
Okay.
So I'm obviously familiar with the fact that Section 40 says you have a duty to publish your procedures and processes.
Yeah.
That's fine. I get it.
Sure.
But it doesn't preempt the guidance from the Washington State Attorney General in WAC 4414.
Sure.
Those are the model rules. You guys have not opted out of those. In fact, you've opted into them based on what I saw online. So if you're going to opt into the model rules, you got to follow the model rules.
Sure.
So do you have any comment about these people having a difficulty based on what I'm encountering
I
today?
don't. With no information about it, I can't comment on
Fair
that.
enough. All right. Well, look, I appreciate your time.
Hey, I
Thank
do.
you.
I appreciate it.
Do you have a business card or?
I don't.
You might just tell me.
I'm at, my main office is at the other campus, which
That's
is
fine.
where all
You
my
mind if
business cards are.
because I'm recording, you might just tell me what your email address is,
Sure.
and your desk number or something like that.
Email address is aglass, aglass at pierce.ctc.edu.
Okay.
And I'm my main office is at the Fort Steilacoom campus.
Okay. And how do I reach out to you by phone?
253 964 6434. Sorry,
All right.
I don't call myself
Yeah, no
very
problem.
often.
All right. Thanks, Ian.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Take care. Have a good day. All right. Wow. That was crazy. I mean, that was absolutely nuts. Those kids reaching out, or their surrogates, whoever it is, were spot on. Now, I want to be clear for transparency's purpose. I'm not trying to say, and I'm not saying, that what just happened in there is what happened to them. That being said, you saw my behavior the entire time. I was polite, cordial, professional, as I always am. And these people decided to start making declarations. It's private, you can't be here, you have to have people's permissions. The vice president of learning doesn't know that you can record in public. Wow, at a college. Woo, that is crazy to me.